Recently, Acer Malaysia just announced a total of 7 new monitors, and 2 of those monitors caught my attention. It was the CB342CK and also the Acer Nitro XV340CKP. These 2 monitors are 21:9 in aspect ratio, they are flat, they are 1440p as well, but the only main difference here is the refresh rate. The Acer Nitro is at 144Hz, whereas the Prosumer series is at 75Hz. So yeah, I bit the bullet and I bought the Acer Nitro XV340CKP, and today is the review of that monitor itself. So this is the Acer Nitro XV340CKP. I've already set it up and used it for quite a while right now, and I actually ordered it on a Wednesday night, and on the next morning when I check back on Acer's website, it's actually out of stock. So hey, I didn't know there's such a big 21:9 community here in Malaysia. If you're one of those person, then click the link down in the description below. You can join us in our Facebook group and you can holler at us there. So when I got the monitor, it arrived in 2 different packages. Number 1 is of course the monitor box itself, and I got the power cable inside and also a HDMI cable, and then there's also a USB 3.0 Type B port. This is a USB uplink cable, so it is meant for you to connect your PC to the monitor so you can use the monitor's USB ports at the back, which I'm gonna go into later. And the second package is a bit weird because it comes in this kind of delivery package, and inside here is just a DisplayPort cable. So I'm not sure if you buy this monitor separately if you get that DisplayPort cable, but that's just something to take note of. Then I decided to unbox the whole monitor itself and set it up on my desk, and that is when I realized that this monitor does not come with a toolless installation method, and I needed a Phillips screwdriver to screw the monitor to the stand itself. And that is when I realized that this monitor is actually compatible with VESA mounts of the standard 100mm x 100mm. So that's good if you want to use a monitor arm for your desk. And speaking of monitor arms, I think I personally might get a monitor arm for the Acer Nitro XV340CKP because the base itself is not really that table friendly for me, because I like to put stuff on top of my monitor stand, and as you can see, my table isn't exactly that clean anyway. Because of that big circular dome shaped base that this monitor stand has, I can't really put anything on top without them sliding off. So yeah, I might get a monitor arm for this. However, the included monitor stand, it's actually quite good. It has full height adjustment, you can also swivel, and it also has tilt adjustments. So yeah, you do get a full set of ergonomic adjustments for you to suit your needs. At the back of this monitor, you do get double HDMI ports, double DisplayPort ports if that's a word, and then you also get double USB 3.0 Type A ports with 5 gigabits per second speeds, and one of these ports actually have a lightning symbol at the bottom here. This is to signify that this port itself can output a total of 5 volts 2.1 amps, which is perfect for you to charge your smartphones if you choose to do so. At first, before I purchased this monitor, I thought that the double USB 3.0 ports is not enough for me personally, but then I realized I can just buy some USB hubs like these kind of weirdly shaped USB hubs. Yeah, I don't know why they are shaped like this, and you can just buy some double-sided velcros like this on Daiso. It's quite cheap, and then you can just stick them at the back of the monitor and you have extra USB ports. So yeah, don't worry about the USB ports. In a way, I do like it because all of the ports are found in the bottom instead of at the side, like the Dell Ultra Sharp monitor that I have there. As for the buttons of this monitor, it is all located on the bottom left side at the back of this monitor, and that is not a problem for me because Acer actually thought of this kind of quality of life improvements by putting the power button further than all the other 4 buttons, and it also has a little dot on the power button itself, so you can just feel and get a tactile feedback so you know what button that you are going to press. Moving on to the on-screen display or OSD, I'm just going to briefly run you through all of the settings that is available on this monitor itself because there are quite a lot of features and it will take a long time for me to explain and show you everything. So I'm just going to highlight a few features. Firstly is called Black Boost. This is something like a black equalizer type of feature. There are a total of 10 levels that you can select from, so 0 is the least and 10 is the most, so you can tune to however you want your monitor to look. For me personally, I just leave it at 5 because that's what I'm most comfortable with right now. I might change it later, who knows. And the second feature here is HDR. Yes, this monitor supports HDR and the colors are actually looking very good. However, I do feel that there is a bit of a warmer tone to it, and overall HDR content is still not that widespread right now. You can only get it on a few Netflix shows, some YouTube videos, and that's pretty much it. But then again, it's good to know that my monitor right now supports HDR. And the biggest feature on the Acer Nitro XV340CKP is of course G-Sync. Oh wait, it's not G-Sync, it's actually G-Sync compatible FreeSync, which is built into this monitor itself. So I hooked it up to my PC right here, which is using a GTX 1080, and I enabled G-Sync. Everything works perfectly fine. I did play Witcher 3 in this PC with a lot of high texture mods, which I will link down in the description below if you want to check that out. And I cranked it to the highest graphical settings possible, and the GTX 1080 can't maintain that 144Hz, but there is still no screen tearing when I'm moving about. So G-Sync is working fine with this FreeSync monitor. By the way, if you're wondering where that FPS meter comes from, it is actually built into the monitor itself, which you can enable through the OSD menu as well. And this monitor also has some gaming centric features like the aim point. It is actually just to put a crosshair on your screen itself when your game does not have a crosshair, so you can do some no scope shots maybe. We can also adjust most of the monitor settings without touching the monitor itself by first heading into the OSD menu and enabling DDC/CI, and this feature will enable the Acer Display Widget app to work with the monitor itself, and we don't have to touch the monitor to adjust brightness, contrast, color profiles and whatnot. So I've been using this monitor for about a week now, and I do everything on this monitor itself. So what I mean by everything is article, news writing. I wrote this review using this monitor. I also will edit this video using this monitor, and I did a lot of YouTube, Photoshop, Netflix, Adobe Lightroom, and everything in between through this monitor. Overall, I really like the color accuracy of this monitor. I don't notice anything that's weird happening on this monitor itself. And I also realized that the 34-inch size of this monitor is just humongous, and I love it. One of the main reasons why I bought the XV340CKP is because of that 144Hz refresh rate with 1 millisecond response time and also G-Sync compatible FreeSync. So I opened up the UFO test and everything just seems to work. There is no noticeable motion blur, there is also no screen tearing, and overall it is doing what it's supposed to be and it does it very well. So no complaints here. However, my one and biggest complaint is actually not on Acer's part but on Microsoft's part, because Windows 10 is kind of stupid. Whenever the whole display goes to sleep and wakes back up, all of my window arrangement will go haywire and the size will also go haywire. I find that to be really annoying, and I'm using a double display setup here. That's a smaller 1080p monitor on top of that speaker, don't ask me why. And this is the Acer Nitro XV340CKP. And whenever all of the window just gets rearranged and resized, I find that really annoying. So I think it's time for the conclusion. This Acer Nitro XV340CKP does everything it is advertised to do very well, and that's what I love about it. It is a flat 1440p 21:9 monitor, and it also has great color accuracy, 144Hz refresh rate with 1 millisecond response time, and it also has G-Sync compatible FreeSync. And yeah, I mean, this is a good buy for 1,999 ringgit. I know this monitor is not cheap. However, whenever I look at that page itself, the store page, and it says sold out, it tells me that there is a community of 21:9 users here in Malaysia. So yeah, I love this monitor and I'm really happy with my purchase. And that's all we have to say about the Acer Nitro XV340 CKP. If you have any questions, do leave them down in the comment section below. We will answer them whenever we can, and we'll see you in the next video. And hopefully it's not in this cramped up room. Bye!